20多年寒窗苦读。
Over 20 years of hard study, a top-tier master's degree, and still no way out. For more than 2 decades, I buried myself in my studies. Coming from a humble rural family, I worked my way up to earn a master's degree from a top-tier university, a 985 key university in China. Graduating in 2021. Growing up, everyone told me that for a family like ours, education was the only way to change our fate. I truly believed it. I thought that as long as I worked hard enough, I could eventually give my parents a better life. When I graduated in 2021, my entire village praised me for making my family proud. I was brimming with hope, believing I had finally made it through the hardest part and could start earning money to support my parents. I never imagined that I would end up ruining everything. At the very peak of the real estate market, I made an impulsive decision. I bought an apartment in Inner Mongolia with a 212,000 mortgage. I wanted a home of my own so badly. I had it all pictured in my head, a spacious 3-bedroom apartment, all set for the long run. 1 room for my parents, 1 for my child. 3 generations living happily under 1 roof. Then, due to work relocated, I moved to Harbin today. That apartment won't even sell for 150,000. If you factor in the endless mortgage interest I've been paying to the bank over the years, I've lost around 70,000 to 80,000. That money wasn't just a number, it was my parents' entire life savings, earned through decades of grueling sweat and toil. Every time I think about this, I am consumed by anxiety, lying awake night after night. To make matters worse, I married and settled in Harbin, over 1,200 miles away from my hometown. My parents are too far to help me with childcare, so to keep my job, I have no choice but to hire a nanny every month. As soon as my husband and I get paid, the money vanishes immediately into the mortgage and the nanny's salary. We have almost nothing left. I have no real friends or social circle in the city. My life is a repetitive commute between my office and home. No hobbies, no entertainment yet. I refuse to give up. I am desperate to turn things around and ease the financial strain on my family. I've tried opening an online store and creating short videos about parenting. I stayed up countless nights trying to make it work, but none of it took off. Every attempt ended in failure. Last year, out of sheer desperation, I turned to the stock market hoping to recoup my losses. Within just 6 months, I lost another 4,000. To the outside world, I seemed to have it all: a prestigious master's degree, a comfortable state-owned enterprise job, and a respectable, stable life. But only I know how lost and battered I truly am. Over 20 years of relentless studying didn't change my destiny. It only drained my parents' hard-earned savings. Impulsive home buying at the market peak, living far from home, raising a child in isolation, drowning in mortgage debt, and trying desperately to find a way out only to hit wall after wall. On so many nights, I lie awake in deep self-doubt. I truly can't figure it out. Where did I go wrong? Why is it that the harder I try, the harder life gets?
Honestly, watching her story made me feel that same utter powerlessness. To be honest, after watching this video, I completely understand the deep sense of powerlessness she feels. Put yourself in her shoes for a second. A humble rural family scrapes by for decades, starving themselves to put a kid through a top-tier university. Naturally, both she and her parents thought they had finally made it through the dark times. Life was supposed to get better, right? Instead, reality slapped them right in the face. She got the prestigious degree. But it didn't change her fate worse. She sank her parents' entire life savings into a house right at the absolute peak of the real estate market. Honestly, who wouldn't break down under that kind of pressure? I know some people online will play the armchair expert, saying things like, well, nobody forced her to buy, or it's her own fault for having bad judgment. But let's be real, how many ordinary people get the luxury of hindsight? Back then, everyone was telling you that buying a home was the only way to settle down and protect your wealth. As a fresh graduate trying to build a foundation in the city, what choices did she really have? The part that cuts the deepest is the idea that one wrong move ruins everything. For kids from ordinary backgrounds, the margin for error in life is painfully small. If someone from a wealthy family makes a bad investment and loses money, it's no big deal, they just brush it off and start over. But when ordinary people stumble, it means wiping out their parents' hard-earned life savings and locking themselves into 20 or 30 years of mortgage debt. You can barely catch your breath. It's not that education is useless, but relying solely on education to change your destiny is nearly impossible nowadays. We used to believe that getting into a great university was the ultimate ticket to success. Now we realize a degree is just a foot in the door. After that, your timing, your choices, and sheer luck, if any one of those goes wrong, it can erase decades of hard work in an instant. Her story isn't just about her. It's a mirror for so many working-class people trying to climb the social ladder. We study with everything we've got, and we work ourselves to the bone just to stay afloat, only to find that life's hurdles are so much bigger than we ever imagined. How did her story make you feel? Have you ever had a moment where one wrong turn threw your entire life off track? Let's talk in the comments.